Hey Book Dragons, I'm so glad that you've joined me today, and I am here to make a confession. I have been cheating on you with other YouTube channels. That's right, I don't just watch Booktube channels. I also watch other kinds of channels, and today we are going to talk about all the different channels that I subscribe to and watch besides Booktube channels. I got the idea from Becca over at Read Becca, and I'm going to leave a link to her channel in the description below because you should really check out her channel if you haven't. But I saw this on her channel and I'm like, man, that's a cool idea. I should do a video talking about other channels I watch that are not book related. So here we go. That's what we're doing today. And let me get my eyes on because I have made a list. Now, this list is going to be broken down into sections, okay? And I am going to have timestamps in the description below so that you can go to each section. If you're not interested in one section, you can skip to a different one. Feel free to do that. You won't hurt my feelings. But if you're interested in seeing different types of channels that I watch, this is your chance, okay? So here we go. And we are going to start with Booktube Adjacent channels, okay? I will leave tags to all these channels as well. If you're interested in checking them out, I'll leave links to them below. But the Booktube Adjacent channels, to start off with, are channels that are run by booktubers, but they are not book related. So it's a second channel or third channel for them. The first of those is Full Meta Analysis. And that channel is run by Elliot Brooks. You may be familiar with Elliot Brooks. She's a very well-known booktuber, has a large following on her main booktube channel. And Full Meta Analysis is her channel for talking about everything else that she likes to do that is not book related. So it might be video games, it might be anime, manga, things like that. She talks about TV shows and movies on there on occasion as well. So it's all that stuff. And it's a really, really awesome channel. I love watching all of that content from her. And so I highly suggest that you go subscribe to it and watch that other channel, especially if you already follow her on her Booktube channel. Maybe you weren't aware that she had another channel, so that's it. The other one on this list is My Little House in Bohemia. And that is a channel run by Mark over at Book Time with Elvis. So if you haven't watched Book Time with Elvis, it's a great channel. I definitely recommend it. And Elvis is Mark's dog. But this is his other channel where he talks about the small home he built in Europe. And, he goes on walks and talks about life and things like that. And it's great. I absolutely love that channel. It's so cozy and so warm. Every video that comes out for it, I'm just like, okay, it's time to watch Mark at his little house in Bohemia. So, highly recommend that channel. The next category is channels that talk about movies. And I mostly only watch channels that talk about Marvel movies, but there are one or two more that I watch on occasion for just general movie reviews. But I'm a big Marvel fan, and I like to hear all the new leaks and rumors that are coming out about new Marvel movies on the horizon, like new Avengers movies and stuff like that. So one of the channels I watch for that is Everything Always, and that's Michael Roman. He's also a musician. He does post-punk music. And so, you'll hear his music in the background of his videos, but he does videos about all the new leaks and rumors that have come out about different Marvel characters that are soon to get their own movies, different things like that. So it's a really cool channel, and I've been subscribed to Michael Roman for a while. Sometimes his videos do get a little clickbaity in terms of the title, but you watch it anyway. He's entertaining, he's a cool guy, and A lot of times he has a lot of up-to-the-minute stuff on the Marvel Universe. Another one I subscribe to related to Marvel movies is New Rockstars. Now, New Rockstars does not just do Marvel. They do other movies as well, television content, just nerdy content in general, but they're pretty cool. And I watch them on a fairly regular basis. Not always, but I've watched a lot of their videos. Most of it was their videos about Marvel, but I've watched a few others where they've done movie reviews about just general movies and television shows. So they have a cool channel. I would recommend checking it out, see if it's for you. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. So now we're going to move on to music. And I really only have two on this front. I do watch other music videos on YouTube on occasion, but the channels I subscribe to are for bands that I really want to follow and hear all the latest information on and what they've got coming out. So one of those is Wardruna, and they are a Norse folk rock band. And they're really awesome. One of their songs is one of my absolute favorites, called Flight of the White Raven. And it's all sung in Norse, right? But they've got subtitles on the screen and stuff so you can follow along. And they just have an amazing sound. I really love their music. One thing that's really cool is they made most of their instruments, because a lot of the instruments that they would have needed to use for their music are no longer around. You know, they're several centuries old. They only really know about them through like writings and things like that. So they took what they could find and they remade them. They made their own, and they've got such a cool sound. And I had a chance to see them in concert this year, and I missed out on tickets. I was so bummed, but they're an awesome band. So definitely check out Wardruna. And then the other one is Open Beta, and they are a Irish folk geek band. So they do covers of a lot of traditional Irish songs and other pop culture songs as well. They write some of their own with nerdy lyrics and things of that nature. So I went to see them in concert just the other night at a local Irish pub, because they are local to my city. And it was just a great time. And they did a cover of some Billy Joel songs and different things. So it was a great time. And if you follow me on Instagram, you may have seen me post about it. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. And I'm so glad that I get to know and support a local band here that's just really doing awesome stuff. So Open Beta is the other band that I follow. Now we're going to move on to board games, and I have just a few here as well. One is Stonemaier Games, and Jamie Stegmaier is the guy that runs the channel, and he talks about different board game related topics. He does top 10 lists. He talks about some of the games that Stonemaier Games specifically is working on and bringing out. If you're not familiar with Stonemaier Games, they've done games like Wormspan, Wingspan, Vantage is a new one that they just put out. Scythe is one of their older titles. And so, yeah, it's just really a great channel, and it's an awesome company. And I really enjoyed the games of theirs that I have played. Wormspan is one of my favorites. So I follow them on a pretty regular basis. I don't watch everything, but I watch most of his stuff. So another one is Terradice Games. And this is Jonathan and Mackenzie, and I've been following them for a couple of years now. And they talk about different board games and how to play certain games, and they talk about top 10 lists, and if you like these kinds of mechanics, you would like these games. They've also developed their own game called Bark Avenue, and it's a game all about walking dogs in New York, and I just think it's super cool. So you should definitely go check them out if you get a chance. Okay, now we're moving on to the final one on this list, and that is a channel called Watch It Played. I used to watch them a lot more way back in the day, and I still watch his videos, but not as much as I used to. But if I want to learn how to play a new game or get a refresher on a game that I've not played in a while, his channel is definitely where I go to first to look up and see if he has a video on it, because his playthroughs and walkthroughs are really good, really detailed, but also concise, and I like that. So, and he's got a great personality. He's a cool guy. So yeah, those are the board game channels that I follow. All right, now we're moving on to just general entertainment. The first one of these I want to mention is Andre over at Black Nerd Comedy. If you have never watched a Black Nerd Comedy video, guys, you are sorely missing out. He talks all over the nerdy spectrum about things like comic books and collectible toys that are coming out and new movies that are coming out, television shows, and some video games as well. And this guy really loves Ninja Turtles and a lot of the major IPs like Voltron and stuff. I mean, he's got a wide range of videos, but all dedicated to being geeky and nerdy and just all the fandoms. It's a lot of fun. And Andre has such a contagious personality. If you have not watched his channel, you are really missing out. He's a lot of fun. The next one is Who Culture. Now, this is a division of What Culture. So, What Culture is a British broadcasting YouTube channel, and they talk about different movies and television shows, pop culture, and things like that. But they started a separate channel dedicated to Doctor Who, and it's called Who Culture. And I watch most of their videos because I'm a huge Doctor Who fan. And I'm often feeling like I'm missing out because they talk about a lot of stuff that's airing in the UK that we're not going to get in the US that's Doctor Who related. And I'm like, oh man. I mean, I could probably get it, right? I'd have to purchase DVDs or whatever, but it's going to be a long time until we get some of that stuff in the States. But they do talk about the core television show and different topics related to it, and they do breakdowns of the latest episodes, and it's great fun. What Culture is a great channel as well, but Who Culture is really where it's at. And then for other general entertainment, I do subscribe to IGN and Nerdist as well. And IGN and Nerdist are basically the same company, but I think Nerdist is an offshoot of IGN. IGN is the parent company, and so I follow their channel as well. They publish a lot of movie trailers and video game trailers, and they do breakdowns of new video game systems when they come out and things like that. So it's a lot of fun, very informative if you're a gamer like I am, and just for general entertainment as well. So really good stuff. So now let's move on to cooking. And the first one of these I want to talk about is Babish. And I can never remember the guy's actual name because everybody just calls him Babish. Everybody knows him as Babish. And he has a really big cooking channel. Babish is quite the character. He's a lot of fun to watch. He does cooking deep dives, cooking instruction videos. He does videos where he taste tests every one of a certain type of product, like every type of store-bought popcorn or every brand of potato chips to see which is the best one. Things like that. It's a food-related channel, not just cooking, and I love it. It's a lot of fun. Jamie Oliver is another one. Now, you may be familiar with Jamie Oliver. He's probably the most well-known on this list, and I've been following Jamie for a long time, but he has a lot of great cooking videos, and a lot of them are tailored to simple cooking. You know, here's a meal that you can make just for one night, or here's a meal that you can prep in 15 minutes, or here's a great way to meal prep for the entire week and keep it simple. Things like that. And he's always in different locales. You know, he might be in his backyard, or he might be in a house on a lake. Just, you know, maybe it's a summer home that he has or whatever. So he's in different locales and just standing in front of the camera preparing food. And he's really engaging. He's a lot of fun. So I highly recommend Jamie Oliver if you have not watched any of his videos. Sam the Cooking Guy is another one. Now, I don't watch all of Sam's videos, but I watch a lot of them. And Sam's great. It's him and his son. And, well, no, actually, I think it might be both his sons that do the main channel with him. And then both of his sons have their own channel as well. And he's got this outdoor, like, patio kitchen with a lot of great features, and he cooks everything from your standard American fare and fried foods to more hefty cuisine, and he's always got some great ideas for a meal, and he takes requests from people that follow the channel, and he has his own brand of knives and cookware and everything like you would expect from a big time cook, right? So he's created his own line of cookware and everything like that. But Sam's a lot of fun, and he's got some really funny shirts as well, very crash shirts at time, and I love that because I'm always on the lookout for some really funny and sometimes off the beaten path, off the wall shirts. So his channel is just a lot of fun to watch. And then there's another one called Life by Mike G, and I can't remember exactly what his channel was called previously, but it was something to do with being a home chef. And now he switched it to Life by Mike G. He still does mostly cooking, but he also talks about his garden and, you know, meal prepping and things like that. Sometimes he'll do other stuff, but it's mostly cooking. And, you know, he'll talk about all the different ways to meal prep foods. He'll talk about all the different ways to use an air fryer or things of that nature. So it's really, really cool. He talks a lot about how to ferment things, which I've gotten a lot out of because I'm always wanting to learn more about fermenting and, you know, doing like pickled vegetables and stuff like that. So he's been a lot of fun. And then Pressure Luck Cooking is the last one on this list. And I really like this channel because most of his videos are about using a pressure cooker. Now, he has an Instant Pot. I have a Ninja Foodie, but it's basically the same thing. He does other meals as well, like meals prepared in pans and things like that. But he's mostly devoted to cooking with a pressure cooker, and he has a bunch of cookbooks that he's put together that are really cool. And he's just got an awesome personality, super cool guy. And a lot of times, you know, after he's prepared a meal, he'll have his husband come in and, you know, taste test the meal with him. And so it's really cool. Just a super nice guy. And he has some great recipes, and he loves food, and he's got a passion for it, and you can see that in his interactions with the camera. So that's the last one on my cooking list, okay? So now we're going to move on to TechTube, and I have 3 channels here. The first one is Apple Insider. I am a huge Apple fanboy. I have an iPhone, I have an Apple Watch, I have AirPods Pro. Somewhere here I've got my AirPods Pro, and I love Apple products. I really do. I love their ecosystem. I think it's a really high quality ecosystem and very easy to use. It's just my personal opinion. I know a lot of people love Android as well, but I'm a huge fan of the Apple ecosystem. They get a lot of flack, but it's really easy to use, and it's a well-known brand. A lot of people love Apple, and I do too. So the guy over at Apple Insider talks a lot about different Apple products that are going to be coming out and other products that work with Apple products like Belkin and Anchor and things like that for chargers and things. So it's been a really great channel. I've had a blast watching it, and I hope you will too. The next one on here is Marquez Brownlee. otherwise known as MKBHD. And Marquez just has some really awesome content, super engaging guy, really informative, and he has a host of different tech stuff on his channel. He'll talk about new cars he's test driven, like Teslas and other electric cars. He talks about all different kinds of cell phones and smartphones and other technology. So he's got a wide range of technology on his channel, and every time I watch a video of his, I'm just glued to the screen because he's really interesting to listen to, and it's no wonder he has hundreds of thousands of followers. Actually, I think he might be over 1 million at least. He's a big channel, and he's not even gonna notice it if I tag his channel in the description below, but I'm going to anyway. Really great guy, and I love his content. And then the other one is Your Average Consumer. And this guy and his wife, and he has a crew that works with him. They do a whole bunch of different tech type videos. They talk about everything from home office setups to office computer setups and setting up a smart home. And they do massive tech unboxings at least once a month. So, they have a P.O. box, and it just gets flooded with all these different packages. And so they come in with this big table laden with packages that they're opening. And some of them are, gifts from other tech companies that want them to try out their product and things. So it's a lot of cool stuff. It's really fun to watch. He's really into Gundams, and I'm into Gundams as well. So he's got a bunch of different Gundams all over the place that he's collected, and I'm like, oh wow, those are just really nice Gundams. But anyway, yeah, super cool guy. I highly recommend checking out Your Average Consumer. And then we're gonna move on to a very special place in my heart, and that is tiny homes. You may have heard me talk about it on the channel. I love tiny homes. I love learning about other people's tiny homes and getting ideas for my own tiny home that I want to build someday. And so it's just a super cool experience to watch these different channels and see what all is going on out in the tiny home world. And so the first of those I want to talk about is living big in a tiny house. And that is the very first tiny home channel that I ever watched. And that's where I really even found out that tiny homes were a thing. And so I am very thankful to Living Big in a Tiny House for coming across my feed, even though that was due to YouTube, I'm sure, but they came across my feed, and I'm very thankful for all the ideas that they have put in my head about the best ways to create a tiny home. And Bryce and his wife Rasa are super engaging. Bryce is the main face of the channel, and he does most of the videos. Just a really, really cool guy, and I love the format of their videos, and I love all the different tiny homes that I've seen on their channel. So the next one on this list is Tiny Home Giant Journey, and I watch them pretty regularly, almost every video. They do some videos that are more about van life and other modes of transporting a house, like schoolies, like a school bus home and different things like that. And I'm not as into those, but I do watch them on occasion still, because I love seeing what people are doing with their vans and their school buses that they bought and outfitting them into a home. So that's still some cool content. But yeah, Tiny Home Giant Journey is a really great channel. And then occasionally I'll watch a few other tiny home channels. There is a channel called Exploring Alternatives that I watch every time they publish a video about a tiny home. They don't do exclusively tiny homes, but they do a lot of tiny homes or alternative homes that aren't necessarily tiny. So it's really interesting to watch that channel. So I'll leave a link to that one down below as well. There are a few channels that I watch that are more day in the life videos or life philosophy channels and thinking about life. One of those is Jonna Jinten, and she is a Swedish YouTuber, and she lives in the far north of Sweden, out in the frozen lands, frozen most of the year anyway. I absolutely love her content. She makes some music. She does a whole bunch of just like nature photography and spending time in nature. And her channel is so cozy and so heartwarming. And I absolutely loved her dog, Nanook. And Nanook recently passed away. And that hurt. Not nearly as much as it did for her, but I know for a fact it hurt a lot of her followers to see him pass. But you know, he died of old age, and he had a great life, and I just really, really enjoyed following her life adventures in Sweden. And she creates jewelry, and she makes art, and I'm just so blown away by how wonderful her channel is. So I hope you'll check out Jonna. Actually, I think it's Yuna. She pronounces it Yuna. But anyway, check out her channel, please. It's great. Another one is Nathaniel Drew. And Nathaniel Drew is kind of a life photographer and videographer, but he talks life philosophy and different topics related to it, and mindfulness and minimalism. He has a whole wide range of things that he talks about, and he has two channels. One is Nathaniel Drew, one is No Backup Plan, and that's another. They're both excellent channels. So I followed him as he's lived in the U.S. for a while, and then he moved overseas and lived in France and other parts of the country and Spain. So it's been really great to see him grow and evolve and change over time. That's been really awesome to see. And so both of his channels, No Backup Plan and Nathaniel Drew, are excellent. His parents actually also have a channel, and their channel is Beneath the Surface. And they also talk about similar topics to Nathaniel and their experience as middle-aged adults and moving to a new country, because they moved to Europe as well not too long ago. So I really enjoyed following their journey and hearing the different thoughts and experiences that they've had. It's been really amazing. And then there's another one that I follow, and that's Matt D'Avella. You may know or have heard of Matt D'Avella. He does a lot of videos on minimalism and different topics, and you know, he'll do 30-day project videos like 30 days of cold showers or 30 days of only eating certain types of foods. And he's done that in the past. There hasn't been a lot of that recently, but I really enjoy watching his channel when he posts a video. And he used to post really regularly, and now he doesn't do as much of that anymore, but every time he posts a video, he gets like thousands of viewers, and I'm one of those viewers. I love his content. Simple Happy Zen is another one, and Vera over at Simple Happy Zen is just a really awesome creator. I love watching her content. She talks about different ways to live a minimalist life and to live a cozy life. She's Danish, and so she lives in Denmark, and just does a whole lot of videos around life and living within your means and learning to be content with what you have. And she's got some really great ideas, and I've just really loved her content, and it's helped me to thrive, I feel like. So really great channel. Thoughtworthy Co. is a new one. And this is a couple in Singapore, and they talk about mostly how they have adapted to living in a very small space and making the most of modular living, like, you know, using desks and furniture for multiple different tasks, and using rooms for multiple different tasks, where a lot of homes will have multiple rooms, and each room is only devoted to one thing, but they utilize small spaces for a variety of different things. I've really enjoyed watching their content and seeing videos on how they prep food and how they arrange their desks and their workspaces and living spaces, and it's been really, really awesome to see. And they do live in a very small space, so I highly recommend checking out their channel. Einzelganger. He's a German fellow, I believe, and he does a lot of videos on ancient philosophies like Taoism and Buddhism, Stoicism, and different things of that nature. He'll talk about philosophers like Lao Tzu and Confucius and different things related to those topics, and minimalism does come up a lot with that as well. And you've noticed I'm really into minimalism and try to practice that myself. So it's been really awesome to see some of the content that he puts out, and it's really impacted me a lot. The final one on this list is Rich Roll. And Rich Roll is a podcaster, and he's also an athlete, a vegan athlete at that. And he does a lot of content around veganism, which I respect. Even though I'm not a vegan myself, I do respect people that are able to do it and people that are passionate about veganism. That's great. And he's also a recovering alcoholic, and he talks about his struggles with that, and he interviews different people from different thought modalities and in different industries. And not all of it is alcohol or vegan related or sports related. He interviews a wide range of people. He interviewed Tom Holland, the actor who plays Spider-Man. He's interviewed a wide range of very well-known personalities, and I just really enjoy his content. I don't listen to every episode of his, but if it's a topic I'm interested in and the person he's interviewing sounds interesting, I watch it or listen to the podcast. It's really great. I love Rich Roll. And then the final category on this is just miscellaneous, and that's for YouTube related stuff. And the only channel that I really follow on a regular basis for that is Creator Insider, and that is for YouTube creators to learn all the new things that YouTube is working on enhancing the platform with, and other things that they're doing to help creators be able to create in a more efficient way. So I watch that channel very regularly. And their videos are short. It's only like 3 or 4 minutes, so it doesn't take long to watch. But it's just kind of a rundown of all the stuff they're working on and things they're thinking about releasing. And so I've really gotten a lot out of that. And if you are a YouTuber or a booktuber and you're watching this, check out Creator Insider if you don't already follow them, because they have some great content. So that is the end of this list of all the channels that I cheat on Booktube with. By the way, I am not making light of cheating. I'm just saying cheating is a very serious thing in relationships. I don't want to imply that I'm making light of that. Just want to put that out there. But it was a really cool idea for a video. I love talking about other channels that I watch, and this has been kind of a long video. So if you made it this far, thank you, and I hope you'll keep tuning in for what is mostly going to be bookish content on this channel. So let me know in the comments below if you follow any of these channels or if you found some new ones. I'd love to hear from you on that. And until next time, make sure you guys read more books, and I will talk with you soon. Oh, and don't forget, if you want to watch more of my content, check out the end screen.